Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. President Joe Biden is back in Wisconsin today, making a big announcement that billions will be spent to improve electricity for rural areas in several states, including Wisconsin.
The president spoke late this afternoon in the small community of Westby, about 30 miles east of La Crosse. It's his first visit to Wisconsin since dropping out of the presidential race and endorsing Kamala Harris. In Your Voice, Your Vote coverage, Chief Political Reporter Jason Zimmerman live in Vernon County with more details of the visit. Jason.
Cami, President Biden leaving the Westby area just a short time ago to head back to Washington, D.C. after announcing a major clean air energy investment of $7.3 billion to a crowd of supporters at the Vernon Electric Cooperative, which is the building right behind me here. Now, the president says it is the biggest investment in rural electric since the New Deal in 1936 and comes with a private sector investment of $29 billion. 16 electric cooperatives will receive a portion of this grant across 23 states. One of them is the Dairyland Power Cooperative out of La Crosse, and another is Great River Energy out of Minnesota. Both serve customers across the region. This initiative is part of the president's Investing in America agenda and will increase the amount of hydro, solar, wind, and nuclear power while reducing greenhouse gas emissions to the tune of 43.7 million tons each and every year.
Because of you, we're planting seeds today that grow and blossom for generations to come. That's what we're seeing here in Wisconsin, a state with a proud tradition of rural communities leading our nation forward.
They're going to lose some states they did not lose 4 years ago, so they've got to find the right states to win. Wisconsin has been 12 times in 24 years. It's been within 30,000 votes here. So they're going to deploy everything they possibly can to win, even if it's Joe Biden.
Republicans are quick to point out the timing of this visit, with the presidential election now just 2 months away. And this being a battleground state, Democrats need every vote they can get, especially in rural areas like Vernon County, which has supported Trump in the past. Reporting live in Vernon County in Westby, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.